Alright, just got back from the range with my PTR 91. Couple things real quick. First off, I'm shooting this on a cell phone. I don't have a stand, and I have terrible lighting in here, so take of it what you will. The video is going to look like shit. Also have a cat that's going to be stepping in here, kind of taking the spotlight on occasion. I also just ate a massive fucking burrito from Chipotle, and I kind of want to take a nap. So we're just going to do one take, and that's going to be it. Because I kind of just want to clean this thing and take a shower and go to sleep. So any mistakes that I make in here are just going to be in there, because I'm not going to reshoot this, and I don't have any video editing software, so it is what it is. Anyway, this is the PTR 91 GIR model, because it's got the welded top rail right up here, and the metal trigger pack. Just got it from Atlantic Arms for $9.55 after shipping. Didn't have to pay sales tax with it. So, and I have the Vortex Spitfire 3X Prism scope on it, the HK cheek piece, and a Magpul quick adjust sling. This, it says MS1 on the packaging. It said MS3 mod 2, some bullshit. But anyway, this little slider Pop-Tart thing is what you use to do the quick adjustments. And it's got these little chompers right here that are what you use to actually connect to the rifle. Let me flip it over real quick so I can show you this side. It does not, on the PTR anyway, it does not fit on these. These little chompers do not fit on the front rail. So instead of trying to find, whatever the fuck adapter, all that kind of crazy bullshit to get it to work, I took 5 cents worth of 550 paracord, tied it into a knot, and melted the shit out of it, and that seems to be working alright. So it does work perfectly fine on the stock though. So the cheek piece is, it's got these little, see if we can get this off one-handed, and this was $50 or so from hkparts.net. There we go. It's got these little plastic nubbin things that fit into the holes in the stock, which is where you also put your little takedown pins. So it's got all these little plastic nubbins, and you cut the ones off that you don't need, because this cheek riser fits like the the 7.62 version, or no, yeah, the 7.62 by 39 version of this rifle, and I think the MP5 something. Anyway, this little thing will fit a handful of different rifles. So you cut these little plastic nubbins off, the ones that you don't need, and then this will fit, just kind of slap on whatever's left, and it'll work. However, I'm not too convinced that this is going to be a long-lived product. I see having to put some screws or something in there after a while, because once you get, like, they're kind of a bitch to get started, but once you cut into them, these pop right off. So, and as you can see, they're not, these bottom two are not fully seated in the riser itself. So I can see these popping off after a while. So I $50, I don't know, like 25 totally, because then, if it breaks, fuck it, whatever. But 50 for some molded plastic that fits 3 different models, yeah, I don't think so. And then it's got a little compartment in here. They say it's for batteries, but then the Vortex that I got down there takes the little CR20 something or other, little flat washer batteries, and they don't fit in here. So, that's pretty useless for me. I don't know, I can fit like 2 bullets in here, so yay! Let me see if I can get this back on without too much difficulty. So yeah, there. Just snaps right back in. Speaking of Vortex, it's the I got the 3-time Prism scope. It's the Spitfire. Let's see if this will focus. You know which one it is. It's a 3-time Spitfire Prism scope. It is a fixed power scope, and I do like it quite a bit. This was my first time taking it out, first time taking the rifle out. It was fairly easy to sight in. It's got the little windage adjustment knobs right here. You just pop in a screwdriver, give it a couple clicks. So, this is actually a used model that I got from Amazon for $260. Normally they retail for about $350, but if you look on Amazon, they'll have warehouse deals. So it was $260, and then paid tax on top of that, so it came out to $275 and change, something along those lines. The only reason I did that is because Vortex has a ridiculous warranty. It's the unlimited, lifetime, transferable, etc., etc. So if there's anything ever wrong with it, I can just send it back to Vortex, and they'll either fix it or replace it. Excuse me. Now, had it been any other product, I don't think I would have done that. But it being Vortex, I'm okay doing that. Now, this is the second scope I've had to get from Amazon, because the first one they sent me was the had the correct box, had the right manuals and all that other shit, but it was the Spitfire AR, which is a single power scope. So had to send that back, and then a couple days later was able to get the right one. So all in all, pretty happy with it. Out of the box, for the second user, I guess, it was not zeroed at all. I was shooting about 8 inches low, and 2 inches to the right at 50 yards. So took a little bit to dial it in, but once you dial it in, it does hold zero, even shooting a 308. So it's it seems like a pretty sturdy scope. I'm gonna see how well it does after. I'm not gonna take it off because it's not on a QD mount, but after kind of leaving it, you know, in storage for a little bit in the and having it in the trunk of the car in transports to and from the range, we'll see. You know, if it holds zero on the next trip out, then great. If not, then, you know, I'll look into maybe doing a QD mount, or, okay, maybe something is wrong with the scope, and then that's just going to be an email to Vortex and see what they're up to. So, as far as magazines go, I got 4 right here. I've got another 10 in the other room. That all came from hkparts.net. The mags, the sling, and the cheek riser. I was going to get a box of 20 from Lee's Mags, but, you know, I was already ordering shit from hkparts.net, so I figured, yeah, don't really need 20, just order another 10. The rifle came with 4 from Atlantic Arms, so I figured having 14 altogether, that's plenty of them. Most of them are, let's see, what year is this one? This one's from 73. Most of the ones I got are from the 60s somewhere. Almost all of them are HK stamped. There's a couple of them from the 80s and like 1 or 2 from the 90s, but they're all pretty much in the same condition. Some of them have a little bit of rust on the floor plates, maybe a little bit up here on the follower. I think those are the only two steel parts in there, except for maybe the spring as well. But the bodies, they're aluminum, so they don't rust. They ran me $5 a piece, something like that. So I think the days of getting good quality ones for $3 a pop are long gone. They did have like the gigantic battle packs or beater packs or whatever you want to call them of I want to say 36 of them, and that was $160, $150, somewhere in there. But they even said, it's like, hey, these are going to be kind of rusty and shitty, you're going to have to clean them up, not all of them are going to work. So you can find cheaper ones if you look around, but you get what you pay for. So I don't need that many magazines. It's 14 is plenty. I'm not even gonna fill all these up. So it's even a situation where if I break one of these, okay, there goes $5. Big fucking deal. Now on to the ammo. This is the Malaysian L2A2 surplus that's been on SG Ammo, and I got this from AIM Surplus. And a couple other sites have it, but between AIM Surplus and SG Ammo, they have the best prices. I got 2 of those 300 round cans for, after shipping, it was about $250. So, as far as how well it performs, I have no complaints. So, it's really, I don't want to say hot, because this is my first .308 rifle. I got nothing to compare it to. But it chucks the brass out a solid 20 feet or so. It's not like it's weak or anemic in any way. It functions just fine in the PTR. I will say that. And it's not dirty or corroded or anything like that, like some of the people have been saying they've been getting from SG Ammo. The stuff that I got from AIM Surplus, this is how it looks out of the box. I haven't cleaned this at all, haven't done shit to it except for open it up. So this is, and if the rest of it's like this, I went ahead and opened up this tin because it's got a gigantic fucking dent right here. So I was a little concerned that some of them might be a little jacked up. I went ahead and checked the boxes right around where that dent was, and nothing. No butted in primers, no dented cases, everything's cool. So, now I got another can that I'm not going to open yet. I'm just going to kind of save that for whenever I deplete this one, or go ahead and just hold on to it for shit hits the fans kind of situation. The only downside to this ammo is that it is a bimetal projectile. So underneath that, what looks like a copper jacket, it's actually just a, let me show you again. It's actually just a copper wash. It's actually a steel jacket with a lead core. Focus. It's a steel jacket with a lead core, and then what looks like copper on the outside is just kind of like a wash or an electroplating. So it's, can't get it off with my fingernail, but you can take a knife to it and just kind of brush it up against the side, and then you'll see steel underneath. So the problem with that is twofold. One, I live in DFW, so most ranges will not let you bring bimetal into an indoor range because their backstop is basically a bunch of chewed up car tires and then a big steel plate. So whenever the steel jacket hits that steel plate, it'll spark. And then in front of that, you have a bunch of chewed up car tires and unburnt powder and shit. very, very likely that you're going to start a fire. Same reason they don't let you shoot tracers. So, and if you've ever seen a tire fire, or any kind of rubber on fire, that shit does not get put out, ever. You basically gotta let it burn. In fact, DFW gun range over off of Mockingbird and 35 burned down a couple of years ago because some jackass decided to bring in tracers. So it took them a year and a half to rebuild. So indoor ranges are completely out of the question with those. Outdoor ranges, I can't bring them to most of those because they are full metal jacket. And people are concerned with them skipping either off the ground and then bouncing over the berm, or kind of skipping over the top of the berm and bouncing out. So, I had to call around to quite a few different places, and I finally found a place that, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want shitloads of people going up to them and be like, oh, hey, heard you, let us shoot full metal jacket. It's like, no, it's not like that. Found a place that would let me shoot it, sight in the rifle. And guys up there are great, so, I wish I could give them a shout out and say thanks, but I don't want them absolutely just inundated with people from all over DFW being like, oh, hey, I heard we can shoot, wolf ammo, which this essentially is, or full metal jacket ammo and all this other kind of shit, because they're a smaller range, and they're not really equipped to deal with a huge influx of motherfuckers going up there trying to shoot full metal jacket ammo. So, but anyway, was able to go out there, kind of get everything zeroed in. The iron sights, though, on this were off by a lot. A lot. Windage, not so much. Just a little tweak of the screwdriver on the... I'm not going to show you how to do it because I'm not going to take the scope off, but it's basically just on this thing right here, you loosen up a little Phillips head and then turn that and you're done. The elevation is... I don't have the sight tool to do it, so I didn't change it, but the elevation is shooting 6 inches low at 50 yards, which is a lot. That's a hell of a lot. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, but I'm just not gonna mess with it. If for some reason the scope breaks, I'm just gonna aim center of mass, and worst case scenario, I hit somebody in the balls. So, it is what it is. But back to the ammo. This is the focus. This is the after effect of what the rifle will do to said ammo. So you can see the striations on there from the fluted chamber and the fucking dents on there. It beats the shit out of these cases. It really, really does. So, good primer strikes though. But, as many people have said before, look down in there, you are not reloading these. Plain and simple. So, and these are Berdan primed as well, so it would be even more of a bitch to try and reload these. I suppose if it were the end of the world, and it was either reload these or not have food for your gun, then, alright, yeah, good, make it work. But, god damn, that would be just a fucking headache. So, because you can see just, not only do you have this massive dent from the ejection port, you also have other dents in there from something, somewhere, I don't know. I have no idea. Just these things are just mangled to hell and back. So, like, they're not getting cut open, like I've seen pictures of some online, but I would not want to be the person to have to try and salvage this. So, I'm going to, even though these are brass, technically yes, this is brass, it can be done. I'm going to treat this as steel case. Because holy fuck. Not interested. Not worth it. Not at all. So, that being said, it was chucking the brass a good 20 or 30 feet off to 1 or 2 o'clock like it's supposed to. The only reason I have those is because I had my backpack sitting next to me, and it threw a few of them low enough that it caught into my backpack. So, there's that. The rest of them were like flying out into the bushes and weeds and shit, and never to be seen again. So even the guys at the range are just, they're not going to see those again. Onto the rifle itself. Very, very happy with it. Went through the break-in procedure for it too, just kind of anyway. PTR said, you fire a round through it and then run a copper or bronze bristle brush through it and then run some patches through it. And then fire another round, repeat, do that 10 times. I just used a bore snake because, seriously, yeah, I'm not going to put that much effort into it. I'm shooting fucking surplus ammo out of it, first off. That's got a steel jacket, so, Anyway, but I did do it for the whole 10 times, and I use, it's going to sound a little unorthodox, but I use transmission fluid as my lube. So, and it's something I kind of stumbled upon a while ago, and I used it on my Mossberg and my Glock, and they both seem to like it quite a bit. And the reason I like it is because everything's cooled down now. It's been sitting for, I want to say, hour and a half. So, and you can see I'm just able to get in there, even just with my finger. Nothing's dried, nothing's caked on, and all this shit is just coming. I don't know how far into the, yeah. So, it's dirty, but it's wet. So, and I can just get in there with my finger and get all that shit off. So, rifle worked flawlessly. No misfires, no hang-ups, nothing. I'm going to take it apart and really get in there and clean it and see how dirty this shit actually is. But I like using the transmission fluid because it seems to create just this nice barrier against everything, and you can just kind of take a rag and wipe everything up, and it gets all the carbon, just wipes the fuck out of there. So you can get rid of all that shit straight away, and then use a little bit more carbon. Hey bud, I'd pet you, but my hands are all full of bullshit. You can just wipe all that shit away, and then start with your patches, again, full of more transmission fluid, and just wipe, go through your barrel, wipe everything down with it, and it just kind of creates this really nice barrier that'll last a really long-ass time, and and it stands up to a lot of heat, too. So, I've put probably, most I've put through my Glock is 250, maybe 300 rounds in a sitting. And that's without, pre-lubing it for the range. That's just with, whatever I had on it, just kind of sitting around. And whenever I got home, same sort of thing, able to just take it with the, stick my finger in the chamber, and it comes out, dirtier than this, but it all just comes out. So hopefully I'll be able to run this rifle with the same setup. And I do run my rifles, or all my guns, wet. Kind of under the philosophy that too much is still not enough. So whenever I got this, when I took it apart, cleaned it, and just very liberally applied trans fluid fucking everywhere. and especially to the bolt and bolt carrier group, and the operating rod recoil spring, even a little bit down in the trigger pack, even though you don't really need it down there. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart and see how it looks on the inside. I'm not going to show you that because, don't have a stand. Would like to use both hands while doing that. And this shit's already about 25 minutes long. So, any questions, go ahead and post them down in the comments. I'll answer them as I get to them. I'm not going to be, if there's fuckloads of comments, I'm just going to stop looking at it because, I don't care. So, this has been Glagnar the Destroyer with the review of the PTR 91 GI, along with a lot of other shit. So, take care, guys.